The other time I spoke about the duration of postgraduate programs in Nigerian universities and the unnecessary delays that make it impossible for students to complete their programs on time. Following that video, a number of people have reached out to me asking me, so what are your suggestions? How do we get out of this situation? What is the way forward? And here are my candid suggestions. To begin with, whoever is in charge of admissions into postgraduate programs must ensure that they do not admit beyond the capacity of the supervisors in each department. If in a department you have only 4 people who are qualified to supervise at that level, how then does it make any sense to admit students in such a way that each supervisor will be battling with 3 or 4 candidates in a particular session? Secondly, supervisors must not accept supervision in areas that are not their research interest. The logic is simple. If it is not your area of research interest, it means you are not actively researching in the area. And if you're not actively researching in the area, it means you may not be aware of the latest research in the area. How then do you guide someone who's researching in this same area? You would just be like a blind person leading another blind person. And if care is not taken, your ultimate destination would be the ditch. In this case, manifested in unnecessary delays. This is why I think it is important to match postgraduate applicants with potential supervisors during the application process. I know that a number of universities in Nigeria already practice this, but to what extent this is effective, I cannot say. I will cite a few examples, and these examples are from personal experience, not hearsay. University of Ibadan will ask you to write a proposal as part of your PhD application process. But whether they end up matching the applicant with a potential supervisor on the basis of that proposal, I cannot say. And this also may not be across all departments. At Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, postgraduate applicants write qualifying examinations, and for the PhD program, proposal defense is part of the examination process and forms part of the basis for your admission into the program. When I went to the University of Lagos, I met with the PG coordinator in the department that I wanted to apply to, and he told me point blank, well, we cannot admit you unless we are sure of a supervisor for you. He actually took me to a professor who assessed the topic that I wanted to work on and told me to go do a literature review and return. Finally, I think there has to be something seriously at stake for the supervisors in this whole process. Unless there is, I'm afraid we may continue to suffer the needless delays that we already complain about. Elsewhere, a professor who undertakes to supervise a PhD candidate understands that he or she is like someone who's doing a PhD afresh. They understand that their progress is somewhat tied to the progress of the candidates that they supervise. So they give it their all. They are the ones who actually run after you. They want you to succeed. They point you to new literature because it counts for them. Of course, the programs are mostly funded, so they do not also want the investment to go to waste. That is why they do everything. But here, the supervisor really has no incentive. They lose nothing whether you complete your program in 20 years or not at all. And trust me, this is not the final word on this. It is an ongoing debate, and we will always come back to it as time permits. Thanks for watching, as always.